He built his career on showing everything, but his girlfriend's stream showed too much.
Sexual assault and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
2016, Ice Poseidon raids made him famous. 2019, 15,000 live viewers a night. His room became a set, his friends became cast members. The camera never turned off. And then he co-founded One True King, one of gaming's most profitable organizations. His house in Austin, Texas became content headquarters. Multiple streamers lived there, multiple cameras running constantly, everything documented, everything monetized.
Right? Everyone in the house, though, it's like content all the time, right? It's always content, right? And it doesn't, and here's the part. It's always at the expense.
Emiru moved in, 20,000 average viewers, 2 creators under one roof, 1 camera. They called it collaboration. It became something else. She came to OTK seeking safety in numbers, a family of streamers, a place where she'd be protected.
We have Emiru on OTK. She just joined an org, all right? She's the first going on OTK. You barely clap. Let's talk about it. Oh, you literally barely clap for your friend.
They told her the house meant safety, that OTK took care of its own. What viewers didn't know was that Emiru and Mizkif had started dating almost immediately inside the content house, behind closed doors. While streaming together daily, the relationship was kept completely hidden from the audience, from sponsors, from most of their friends. They thought they were being careful. They thought secrecy meant protection.
And then when we broke up, I was like, you know what? Now's my chance to prove that that's not the case. But well, now I have Miz. But at least Miz doesn't pretend to be in love with me.
Everything stayed buried for years until the day that marked Mizkif's downfall. On October 25th, 2025, Emiru went live. Title, just her name. Nobody knew what was coming.
Opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still on.
The abuse escalated slowly, bottles thrown, a black eye explained away. It happened again and again and again.
Throw his phone at me. I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but...
Then came the driving incidents. Mizkif would accelerate to dangerous speeds during arguments, threatened to kill both of them.
Another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
The reason this part is so crazy is because it's not even like the guy is an unknown streamer. He's one of Twitch's biggest and most well-known streamers. So the fact that he's about to crash out over not getting a Mr. Beast collab is insane. He doesn't want to see anybody but himself win. And this could also be seen as him being jealous of Emiru for being better than him at a few things.
I can't take this anymore! Why are you so much better than me? Why?
The chat was in absolute chaos at this point. Clips were already being cut and shared across Twitter, Reddit, Discord. But Emiru wasn't finished. A night when Mizkif came to her house asking for closure, she was crying. Mizkif tried to take advantage of her during the breakdown.
He tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed.
Instead of apologizing, he said he felt weird, that he felt like he did something wrong, that he had to go. He immediately left her house while she was still crying. Additionally, Emiru showed numerous screenshots displaying messages allegedly from Mizkif after she cut contact with him. Then came the others. Within hours, more women came forward. Twitch streamer Huko posted her own story. She described their first hookup, how she was so drunk she couldn't keep her eyes open, how she was supposed to crash on the couch but somehow ended up in his bed. She called Emiru brave, didn't want to be associated with Mizkif but needed to corroborate the claims. Streamer Arya Saki shared something even more disturbing. Mizkif had claimed that one of the reasons Byron Reckful Bernstein killed himself was because he was jealous of Mizkif. The claim was baseless, insensitive, using a dead friend's tragedy to boost his own ego. Streamer Emily Wong recalled the first and only time she met Mizkif. He kicked her as a greeting, asked her to make him coffee. When she walked away without responding, he had the audacity to ask again.
And he had the audacity to ask me again to make him coffee. And then when I didn't, a while later, he was like, "This is why you're never gonna make it as a streamer."
Each story darker than the last. Then fans pulled up old clips of Emiru and Mizkif. Footage of Mizkif from 2022 harassing her on camera with moldy cheese, holding it inches from her face. Chat telling him to stop. He kept going.
Ew, bro. Ew.
Show chat.
No, I don't want to touch it. Ew.
You see it, chat? It's fungus.
Are you sure that's mine?
Yeah.
I don't remember buying that, which means if I did buy.
The clip showed her discomfort. Chat turned on him. He didn't care. Then came the messages, 20 minutes after that stream. But it gets even crazier. Their roommate logged what happened next. Mizkif went to the breaker box, cut the power to the entire house. The stream went offline. So he harassed her on stream, then crashed out because she didn't pretend to enjoy it, then cut the power so she couldn't continue streaming. The fact he turned off the power to the house afterwards so he can end her stream and probably yell at her more off stream is so insane to me. The pattern was undeniable, the evidence was everywhere, and Mizkif said nothing. For 48 hours, complete silence, no response. OTK issued no comment. His friends said nothing publicly. The silence became its own story. Old clips resurfaced, him doing the same thing to Maya years prior.
Used to legitimately get pissed because I'm like, are you serious? I brought this bitch into the world and now all of a sudden she's growing faster than I was. Because I was going like this.
She said no.
Maya unimpressed. That's what that was.
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you over the past 2 days.
Oh my god.
This right here is an insanely bad look because on one hand, you have your recent ex-girlfriend saying you used to abuse her by throwing objects at her, and then people pull up a clip of you actually throwing stuff at your other ex-girlfriend while she was live on stream. So it's kind of hard to just not believe Emiru at this point. But the warning signs stretch back even further. In 2022, Mizkif had been accused of something far worse. His roommate and best friend, Crazy Slick, was accused of sexually assaulting streamer Adriana Lee at a party in 2021. She posted a tweet longer describing how Crazy Slick touched her inappropriately while she was unconscious and drunk. But the statement had been watered down, edited, proofread by Maya and Mizkif before it went public. The situation escalated when streamer Trainwrecks publicly accused Mizkif of orchestrating a cover-up. When the truth came out in September 2022, the fallout was immediate. OTK suspended Mizkif pending investigation. A third-party law firm found no direct evidence he covered up the assault. He did apologize, and while the apology was detailed and addressed the community's concerns, it still came off as insincere. By then, the damage to his reputation was already done. The original scandal continues to follow him even in 2025, despite his attempts at accountability, showing how some controversies have lasting consequences, regardless of apology quality.
Like, streamers, all of them,
Yep.
everybody, FaZe Clan, the 4th floor, OTK, everybody. I'm just gonna start being a solo streamer. I never needed anybody, they needed me.
Except now, 10 months later, the pattern was undeniable. When Mizkif finally broke his silence, it wasn't with an apology. It was with a 30-minute response stream titled The Truth.
But I am totally okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious I will not be friends with any of these people after this.
He tried to defend the sexual assault on Emiru, but it sounded like he was pleading guilty.
We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted.
He denied the stalking. He denied the blackmail. He said it was an extremely toxic relationship on both sides. Then he talked extensively about Emiru neglecting rabbits.
Maya came over during my cancellation. She actually commented on Emiru's rabbits and said, "These rabbits are completely neglected and this is disgusting." Emiru wouldn't clean the cages and the smell became so bad that we started to have the rabbits just be outside. I told her if that's the case, she's got to make sure she's giving them water because they are her responsibility.
Then he added the physical abuse allegations. His defense was that Emiru was also violent, that she would throw clothes and plushies at him.
Would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times.
The internet's reaction was immediate. Is he really equating throwing plushies at someone to punching holes in the wall? My dog stepped on a bee. She threw a plushie at me. I used to be a predator, but then I took a plushie to the knee. Second plushie hit the ego tower. The comparison was insane. Viewers couldn't believe he thought this was a valid defense. But he continued, saying he was ashamed the situations got so bad, saying he wasn't perfect.
We're breaking up with each other almost weekly. Fights were getting more aggressive and shouting began to increase. I was not perfect and I reflect on those situations poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situation.
Another streamer, Asmongold, was quick to point out the obvious.
I think, again, the reason why he's using the plushies or he's using the clothes as an example is because you can't prove that, whereas you can with holes in the door or damaged property.
OTK released a statement within 24 hours of Mizkif's response, announcing that Mizkif was stepping back from the organization during an internal investigation. They also expressed support for Emiru, showing major organizational backlash against the accused streamer. The streaming community's reaction was immediate and devastating. Asmongold, Mizkif's longtime friend and OTK co-founder, went live with his own response, and he didn't buy any of Mizkif's claims.
I think he's going to get banned, I do. Because I can't see, like, how is there a universe where a person, you know, with so much verifiable evidence, you know, in terms of like holes in the wall, violence, like on-camera things that he...
Other streamers echo the sentiment. Stable Ronaldo, Jason the Ween, and Adapt all expressed heartbreak over what Emiru endured. Emiru announced she was pursuing restraining orders in both California and Texas. She contacted a lawyer, reviewed everything thoroughly before going public. She wasn't backing down. As of now, Twitch has taken no official action. Mizkif's channel remains active, his account untouched. The court of public opinion delivered its verdict. The community ended him. Mizkif is literally what being a loser looks like. The irony isn't subtle. The platform that made him became the platform that unmade him. The live broadcasting that built his career broadcast his collapse in real time. The community that supported him turned instantly when they understood what the support had cost someone else. I can't believe he's claiming this is toxic, aggressive behavior when she's clearly upset about being stalked to the point of endangering her close ones. Maybe if he'd been held accountable earlier, if friends had spoken up sooner, if patterns had been addressed instead of excused, if victims had been believed the first time instead of the 10th. But that's not what happened. What happened is that he continued and she stayed silent until she couldn't anymore, until one stream destroyed everything. Let me know what you think about Mizkif. Is he going to come out of it, or is this his end? Before you go, don't forget to check out my recent video.